What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another Monday afternoon here with your boy for Reactivate the Moment. Listen, I want you to do me a favor. I want every one of you to like, comment, and share this broadcast. Please like, comment, and share this broadcast. Let people know what goes down every Monday at 12 noon for your midday motivation with Marcus Ford. Listen, I want to thank each and every one of you for following me thus far, for being a part of this journey thus far. I got something in my eye. But we need more. We need more. I need you to do me a favor, like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share. Let everybody know what goes down here each and every Monday. Listen, before we get started, I want to do a quick shout out to my wonderful, amazing wife, Quinay, for an amazing production of What About Jesus. We had a great time this past Saturday, and the production was phenomenal. The production was phenomenal. I can't put into words. If you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you weren't there, then you missed a great show. Not only a great show, you missed an experience and a move from God like none other. And I want to give a special shout out to my wonderful wife, to all the cast, all the crew, the dancers, everybody that has something to do with making this show a success. We put in some work, y'all. We put in some work these past few weeks, and God got the glory this weekend. This weekend. But on that same note, I want to also I need everybody's help. I need everybody's help. I need you all to go out and vote. Yes, go home with this award and future endeavors. Listen, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Get into it today. I want to talk about the real risk isn't failure. It's getting comfortable with less than your potential. The real risk that we face, the real risk that we face is not failure. It is getting comfortable with it's getting comfortable with being less than your potential. Getting comfortable with being less than your potential. Most people, if we can admit to it, most of us are afraid to fail. We're afraid to fail. I've been one of those people. I know people, others that are like that, but we are afraid to fail. But that's not the real danger. If we can be honest with ourselves, being afraid to fail is not the real danger. The real danger is waking up one day and realizing that you settled. The real danger is waking up one day and realizing that you settled. What we got to understand is that failure can push us forward, but comfort can keep us stuck. Failure can push us forward, but comfort can indeed keep us stuck. So today, y'all, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why the real risk, it's a tongue twister, isn't failure, but it's getting comfortable with less than your potential. What we got to believe, we got to understand is that we've been taught to fear the wrong things. We've been taught to fear the wrong things throughout our lives. Society conditions us to avoid failure at all costs. It conditions us. Everybody doesn't want to fail. We're afraid to fail. We don't want to fail. We want to be successful. We want to do great. But what failure does, or fear of failure does rather, it stops us from trying. When you have the fear of failure, it stops you from trying. It stops you from putting forth the effort. But avoiding failure often leads to avoiding growth. When you have the fear of failure and it stops you from trying, it often leads to you avoiding growth. You don't grow to your potential. You don't grow to who you are. You try to kind of play it safe, but playing safe Yeah, it may feel smart a little bit. Playing safe feels like a good idea. Playing it safe feels like it's the right thing to do. But what playing safe does, playing safe limits you. It limits you. Yeah, it limits you. It limits us of what we can do. It limits us of what we're capable of. We can avoid failure and still miss our purpose. When you play it safe, you can indeed avoid failure. And guess what playing it safe does? It causes you, it causes you to miss your purpose, to miss the purpose that you have of your life because you want to play it safe. You want to say, kind of want to fall back and kind of don't want to take a risk, or you don't want to just jump out there, but it's going to cause you to miss your purpose. We got to understand that when you play safe, you still can stay stuck. I don't know who been there, or who can attest to this, but sometimes if you ever notice that when you play safe, you can still stay stuck. You can still stay stuck. But we gotta agree. We gotta realize, we gotta understand this one thing. Failure is actually necessary. It is. Because what failure does, failure teaches us what success cannot. Mhm. Failure can teach us some things that success cannot. It's necessary because it builds resilience. Failure is necessary because it builds wisdom. Failure is necessary because it builds strategy. I don't know who I'm talking to, but this got to be for you. Put in the comment section. Failure builds resilience. Failure builds wisdom. And failure builds a strategy. A strategy. Every successful person, I don't care who they are, every successful person has failed repeatedly. Every single one of us at one point in time, we've all failed. We failed repeatedly. Michael Jordan failed. LeBron failed. All the richest people in the world, the business owners that you hear about and that you know of that have all these different brands and different things, they've all failed first. Nobody has come out the gate being successful. There have been and there will be some trial and error. But failure is just feedback. It's not final. Say that again. Failure is feedback. It's not final. What that means is what failure does, failure can cause you, what failure does, failure can cause you to get your feedback. You thought and you felt like that because you failed that was it. But no, what failure does, failure gives you some insight on what you can do to make it better. It's not final, y'all. It's not final. It's not final. It's only final when you allow it to be final. It's not the end. Failure is definitely not the end. But what failure is, and this is what we got to remember, failure is all a part of the process. Failure is all a part of the process. You cannot be successful. You cannot achieve the work. You cannot achieve anything that you want to achieve unless you fail at some things. Thank you, Adrian. My birthday is this week, y'all. My birthday is Thursday. Thank you so much, Adrian. I appreciate you. You cannot achieve anything without failure. It's the process. It's a process. What we gotta realize is that when we get accustomed to this thing, we begin to get comfortable where we are. We begin to get comfortable. And the thing is, there's some hidden dangers in comfort. There's some hidden dangers in comfort. Comfort is just it's subtle thing. We don't really see it coming, but it's subtle. But guess what? It's dangerous. I don't know what, y'all. It's dangerous. Why? Because comfort can feel good. Comfort can feel good to us. It sounds good. It feels good. But guess what? It limits our growth. Comfort feels good, but it limits our growth. Hey, Miss Bobby, it limits our growth. And what we got to understand is that when we get to a place where we're comfortable, when we get to a place where it seems like things it causes us to be stuck. When you get to a place where most people don't realize and everything is topsy turvy and everything feels like it's going good and things are well and things are cool. No, man, we get to this place of, of comfort and it causes us to reach a dangerous point in our lives. It causes us to reach a dangerous all ourselves to be in a place where we're okay with being comfortable. Because what it does, it convinces us to stop pushing. Comfort convinces us to stop pushing. It convinces us to stop going forward. It convinces us to stop reaching our potential. It convinces us to stop pushing towards greater because we're so comfortable in it. We're so comfortable. Not only that, but it normalizes mediocrity. Hey, hey, Zio, how you doing? It normalizes mediocrity. When we get to a place of comfort, it normalizes us to be just average. When we were created to be extraordinary, but the place of comfort has you in such a well off state to where it causes you to get to a place where you say, you know, I'm all right where I am. All right, I'm okay with where I am. I'm okay with what I'm doing. Then we start saying things like, you know, this is good enough. This right here, where I am, this is good enough for me. I'm fine with where I am. We start saying things like, you know, I don't want to take the risk, or I don't want to risk it. I don't want to do this because I don't want to risk being hurt. I don't want to start this relationship because I don't want to risk my heart being broken. I don't want to start this business because I don't want to risk it failing. I don't want to risk me not getting any money. We say certain things to ourselves that causes us to reach our demise. We get comfortable. We start repeating certain cycles and saying these things. I'm okay where I am, and I don't want to risk it, and things like that. But comfort doesn't challenge you; it contains you. We think that oftentimes when we get into this comfort place, that it causes us it causes us to meet the challenge. Oh, I'm not going to be comfortable. No, I'm gonna keep going. No, it's not how it works. Because what comfort's job is to contain you. It's to keep you comfortable. It's to keep you average. It's to keep you mediocre. It's to keep you from reaching your success. It's to keep you from reaching your potential. But we got to get out of our way. We got to get out of our way. We got to. A lot of us, if we don't believe it, a lot of us have shown signs of settling. Mhm. We've shown signs of settling. Imagine this. Here's a good one. Um, here's a good one to see if you've shown signs of settling. Have you stopped setting bigger goals? Have you stopped setting bigger goals? That's one way that we've shown signs of settling. I've been there before. I can attest to it. I've stopped setting bigger goals in my life. Have you avoided challenges? Here's some things I just want you to reflect on. You know, if you haven't already, have you avoided challenges? Have you avoided certain tests? Have you avoided certain trials because you don't want to you don't want to fail, or because you're still comfortable? You don't want to accept the challenge. You want to accept the pressure. Have you thought about this? How many of you can agree that you're no longer growing? How many of you can see that you were at a certain place in your life where you were just pushing and pushing and growing and going, and things were getting good, and things was great, and all of a sudden you stopped growing. You stopped growing because you got comfortable. You stopped growing because you felt like that you were okay. You felt like that things were all right. You felt like it. Have you ever been to a place in your life where you felt unfulfilled, but you weren't motivated to change? Man, I definitely have been there. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I'm telling you. There have been times where I felt unfulfilled. Felt like it. I felt like I wasn't being satisfied. I felt like that things in my life weren't going the way that I wanted them to. I wasn't happy. I wasn't motivated. But it didn't motivate. It didn't even motivate me to change. I just said, man, look, I'm all right, man. My family's all right. My kids, my wife is okay. You know, as long as they're okay, then I'm fine. But no, all of us need some form of some type of fulfillment, positive fulfillment though, in our lives. Positive fulfillment causes us to go forward. Positive fulfillment causes us to push past our limits. It does. You know you're capable of more. You know it. You know you're capable of more, but you're not pursuing it. Why? Because you are comfortable. You know you can achieve more. You know you can do better. You know you can work harder. You know you can press harder. You know you can go forward more. You know you can reach further. You know you can reach higher, but you aren't motivated to do it because you are comfortable. Today is the day we break that cycle. Today is the day we break that cycle. Why? Because you're not stuck. Some of us feel like we're stuck, but I'm here to tell you, you're not stuck. You can move. You can get out of that heartbreak. You can get out of that failure mode. You can get out of fatigue. You can get out of frustration. You can get out of all the things that are holding you back. But the reason why you have not gotten out of it, the reason why you have not pushed forward is because you've gotten comfortable. You've gotten comfortable. We can't afford to continue to stay comfortable. We can't afford to continue to stay where we are because there's a cost to it. There's a cost of settling. There's a cost of staying in our comfort zone. There's a cost of staying in our comfort zone. The reason why when we stay in our comfort zone, here it is, when we stay in our comfort zone, we lose potential. We lose potential. You never become who you could have been. You never become who you could have been because you're comfortable, because you're in comfort mode. God created you to be a certain way. You had dreams and goals to be a certain way, to achieve certain things in your lives. But you won't be that way. Why? Because you have lost your potential, because you're in this comfort zone. You're in a comfort zone. Not only have you lost potential, but guess what? You've lost time. You've lost time because years have passed. Oh my God, years have passed without progress. I can't tell you how long I've sat on some things regarding Reactivate, regarding my life, regarding my family. There's some things that I've put to the back burner because I just put it to the side because I was cool with being comfortable. I was all right. I was all right. Hey, Charity, I was all right. I was cool with all that. And because of that, years had gone by, days, months, weeks have gone by, and I had no progress. I had some things in the works that I just put to the back burner, but because I didn't get the motivation, or I felt like people weren't following me, or I felt like things weren't going how I wanted them to go. I just like, man, I'll be all right. Well, it is what it is. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll deal with it when I deal with it. And because of that, I've lost time. Not only that, but some of us deal with, here it is, some of us deal with internal frustrations. Internal frustrations. Deep down, you're capable of doing more. Because of your frustration, you don't push yourself to do more. You don't push yourself to be more because they're internal. We don't like people to see us frustrated. We don't like people to see us flustered. So we keep them bottled up inside. But because of that, we lose. Not only do we lose our potential to be great, not only do we lose time and years have gone by, but we lose the one thing that we need. We deal with the one thing that keeps us from going. That's frustration. You can be better. You can do better, but you're frustrated. And because of that frustration, it causes you to miss opportunities. What's up, Pop? It causes you to miss opportunities. Because the comfort place, it feels great. It feels good. But how do I get out of it? I just get up and keep going. Just because you're settled doesn't mean you can't get up. Just because you ever relax so good, you ever sat in a bean bag or sat in a good chair and it sunk you in and you just felt good and you didn't feel like getting up, but something motivated you. Like after a while, you get thirsty, you get hungry. And what happened? You get up and you want to get you something to drink. But guess what? You didn't stay stuck. You got up. You didn't need anybody's help to get up. You didn't need anybody's help to move forward. You didn't need anybody's help to motivate you. You motivated yourself. You caused that motivation. You allowed that motivation to cause you to move. And guess what? It gave you an opportunity to get up. Our problem is we sit so long and we get down on ourselves and we get frustrated so long that we miss opportunities. You know why? Because you didn't position yourself for growth. You missed the opportunity to achieve a dream, to achieve a goal. You missed the opportunity to make things happen for you and your family. You missed the opportunity to move into that new building or to get that new business or to get that loan. You missed it because you didn't put yourself in the position to grow. You didn't. I know people that are, that like to plant things, the botanists, and they have plants all around the house. And when you have a plant in the house, you have to, the seed goes into the soil and you got to water it and everything. And putting water in the soil is good. But if the plant doesn't get the sunlight, it can't grow. And in order for a plant to grow in the house, you have to position it in a way to where it receives all the nutrients, all the things that it needs. It receives sunlight, it receives water. If not, it'll never grow. In other words, you have to put the plant in the view of the sun so the sun can cause it to grow. What am I saying? All of us have got to put ourselves in the position to where we are in the right place at the right time so we can grow and reach our potential. All of us are plants, all of us are seeds waiting to be planted. You have dreams waiting to be planted. You have goals waiting to be planted. You have aspirations waiting to grow. They're planted inside of you. They're planted in your brain. They're planted in your mind. They're planted in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit. But they cannot grow because you're not in the right position. You have to get into the right position in order for your dreams and your goals and your aspirations to grow, in order for you to grow to the full potential that you are meant to be. You have to. Settling can be extremely expensive. When we settle, oh my God, it's expensive. It can cost you the life you were meant to have. When you settle, it's expensive. But what settling does, it costs you the life you were meant to have and the life you're meant to live, because you've allowed all these things to happen to you. The frustration, the missed opportunities, the lost time, the lost potential. You've allowed all these things to keep you from growing, to keep you from getting better, to keep you from being great, to keep you from all of that. But we got to get to a point where we break this thing. This comfort thing has gotten us to a place where we've allowed our lives to just be put on hold, put on in halt mode. We've allowed our lives to kind of be dampened down. We've allowed our potential to be diminished because of this comfort thing, because of this failure thing. But here's how we break it. Here's how we break it. Number one, we got to be honest with ourselves. Put that in the comment section for me. You got to be honest with yourself. How do you get out of this comfort? How do you break the comfort cycle? How do you get out of your comfort zone? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Where have you settled? Think about it. Where have you settled? There are places in your life that you settled. At what point in your life did you settle? What are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? A lot of us are avoiding something. We're avoiding something, maybe one thing, or maybe a multitude of things. But we are avoiding something. What are we avoiding? Hey, Miss Paula, what are we avoiding? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Second thing you got to do before I get out of here, the second thing you got to do is redefine failure. Redefine what failure is in your life. And then once you redefine it, here it is. Once you redefine it, stop fearing it and start using it. Once you redefine what failure is, stop fearing it and start using it. Use the failure. Here it is. Treat your failure as a part of your growth. Treat your failure as a part of your growth. Use it as a fuel to push you. Use it as a fuel to make you go higher. Use it as a fuel to make you go farther. Treat it as a part of growth. Point number one, be honest with yourself. Point number two, redefine failure. Here it is. Point number three, do something unforgettable daily. Do something unforgettable daily. What we got to realize is that growth requires stretching. Growth requires, think about it, when you're a child, you're an infant. You start off as a baby and an infant and a toddler, and then you go into preteens and adolescents. And so, but as you grow higher, your height gets higher. But it causes you, what your height does, it stretches certain ligaments, it stretches certain muscles, and it stretches you to the point where, in order for you to grow higher, your bones and your muscles and your tendons and all those things have to grow. The reason why, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we haven't grown, because we haven't allowed ourselves to grow. We haven't allowed ourselves to go. It requires you to stretch beyond your limits. It requires you to stretch beyond your potential. You got to get used to being uncomfortable. How do you grow? Get used to being uncomfortable. Because if you're used to being uncomfortable, guess what? You'll continuously grow. You'll continuously uh, uh, begin being stretched. You continuously keep going past your limits. Why? Because you are doing something uncomfortable daily, and you'll create a pattern. I'm saying, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing this because I want to be great at it. I want to be better at it. I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing. I got to keep growing. So you got to do that. Not only that, point number 4, raise your standards. Raise your standards. Look, we got to stop settling for good enough. Stop settling for good enough. I tell my son all the time, do you want to be good? Do you want to be what? He said, I want to be great. He knows. He knows he wants to be great. You can't afford to be good in this side, in this society, in this day and age, because there's always somebody out there that's doing better than you or that's working harder than you. There's always somebody out there that's a couple steps ahead of you. That doesn't mean that you're not doing anything right. That doesn't mean that you're not growing. That doesn't mean that you're not going to reach your potential. All that means is that you just got to keep moving. They are 2 steps ahead of you because they didn't stop moving. They did not become comfortable. And even if they did become comfortable, they gave themselves enough push and enough motivation to keep going, even while they're comfortable. Our problem is that when we become comfortable and we become cool with where we are, we want to stay because we feel at ease. We don't feel pressure. We don't feel pain. We don't feel frustration. We feel at ease. But I'm here to let you know that you cannot allow that at ease feeling to rest, rule, and abide in your life. You can allow it to abide in your mind. You can allow it to abide in your heart, because if you allow it to abide in those places, guess what? You will never, ever reach your potential. You will never ever get past where you are. You will always watch people pass you by. You will always watch people succeed more than you. You will always be an example of what could have, should have, and would have been. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be an example of what could have been, what should have been, and what would have been. I need to be the example of what I'm going to be. We got to set the standard, y'all. Set the standard. Raise your standard. Demand more from yourself. Demand more for yourself. You can do it. Demand it. Demand it. Not only that, but here's number 5. Reconnect with your potential. We've lost our connection. We've lost it. Let's be honest with you. We've lost our connection. But it's okay. Just because we lost something doesn't mean it can't be found. We've lost sight of what we are. We've lost sight of who we wanted to be. So now we got to reconnect with our potential. We got to reconnect with our potential. Who are you capable of becoming? Ask yourself, who am I capable of becoming? Make a list, of I'm capable of becoming a business owner. I'm capable of becoming rich. I'm capable of becoming less frustrated. I'm capable of becoming loved. I'm capable of becoming a good friend, a good brother, a good sister. I'm capable of becoming better than who I am. And once you start thinking about that, once you start writing those things down, guess what? Now you got to start acting on it. But no, I don't mean just acting on it, just to say that you're doing. No, you got to act on it now, because when you get to your future, guess what? You'll reach the standard that was set for you, and then guess what? You have to raise the bar higher than that. That's how you become not being comfortable. Like who you want to be now, so that when you reach the level of where you want to be, you're already there. You walked in that purpose. You walked in that calling. Then when you reach that level, create another version of yourself, and then go there. We got to get into this place, y'all. We got to get into this place where we reconnect with our potential. Our potential is there. We got to reconnect with it. I'm here to let you know. I'm here to let you know. What's up, Mark? I'm here to let you know. Growth begins where comfort ends. Growth begins where comfort ends. If you want to grow, you got to end the comfort. You cannot grow and stay comfortable. You cannot. Think about it. Think about, I talked about a seed being planted earlier. Think about this. And the seed, what if the seed was planted and it grew under the dirt and you never saw the full potential? You never saw how high it can go. You never saw how much it would blossom if it stayed in the dirt. The reason why we're able to see flowers bloom, the reason why we're able to see leaves grow and trees grow, is because it pushed through the soil, because it got comfortable. Because it didn't remain comfortable with being in the seed. It sprouted out and got out of the dirt, and it reached its full potential. Why? Because it did not stay in the comfort zone. Here it is. I'm gonna repeat those the way we can do it. Here it is. And repeat the way, how to break the comfort. One, we got to be honest with ourselves. Point number one. Point number two, you have to redefine your failure. Be honest with yourself, redefine your failure. Point number three, do something uncomfortable daily. Do something uncomfortable daily. Point number four, raise your standards. Raise your standards. Point number five, reconnect with your potential. Reconnect with your potential. Once you do all that, then you have to decide to grow. You don't accidentally grow. You decide to. None of this comes by accident. It comes and it starts with a decision. It comes from and starts with a decision. You have to decide you want to grow. Being comfortable is a choice, but so is growth. Being comfortable is a choice, but so is growth. So how far you go and how high you reach is up to you. You can choose to stay where you are. You can choose to stay comfortable. You can choose to stay complacent, or you can become who you're meant to be. But you cannot do both. You cannot do both. It is impossible. You can choose to stay comfortable, or you can choose who you're meant to be. But you cannot do both. Cannot do both. I'm going to leave you with this and I'm gone. Stop being afraid of failure. Be afraid of staying the same. Stop being afraid of failure. Be afraid of staying the same. Because if you are afraid of staying the same, you will have this mentality of saying, you know, I cannot be this way any longer. In order for you to get out of your comfort zone, in order for you to reach your full potential, your comfort zone has to be disturbed. You have to ruffle your feathers a little bit. Why? Because you were built for more than average. You were built for more than average. You were built to be great. You were built to be stupendous. You were built to be marvelous. You were built to be more than where you are. But you cannot stay where you are. Please do me a favor, y'all. Don't let comfort rob you of your calling. Don't let comfort rob you of your calling. I'm not saying calling as in far as being a preacher or anything like that. I'm talking about calling of of your purpose and your potential, who you're supposed to be. Please do not let comfort rob you of your calling. Why? Because the real risk isn't comfort, it isn't failure. The real risk isn't failure. Why? Because it's getting comfortable with less than your potential. The real risk is not failure. We're talking about failure, y'all. It's okay to fail because you learn from it, you grow from it. But the real risk is not necessarily failure. The risk is getting comfortable with less than your potential. So do me a favor. Don't settle for a life that you've outgrown. Put that in the comment section for me, please. Don't settle for a life that you've outgrown. All of us have gotten to a place in our lives where we need to outgrow where we are. But because we settled, we can't outgrow it. So please don't settle for a life that you've outgrown. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for the day. I greatly appreciate you joining me for this midday motivational moment, this midday motivation. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, like, comment, and share this broadcast. Like, comment, and share this broadcast. Somebody needs to hear about failure and comfort. Somebody needs to hear it. Somebody that you know, somebody that your friends may know have been in a comfortable state. They've been in a state of comfort. They've been in a state of complacency. They've been in a state of mediocrity. And this is their moment to get out of their state and walk into their purpose. Do me a favor, like, comment, and share this broadcast. Before I get out of here, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Do me a favor, follow me on all social media websites. Reactivate the Moment on Instagram and Facebook. Also, you can follow me, Marcus Ford, on Facebook, as well as Instagram at M423. M423. Do me a favor. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, topics you want to talk about, you can email me at reactivatethemoment@gmail.com. reactivatethemoment@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. Yes, it is actually me that will respond. So you'll be talking to me. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, but I want to hear from you and talk to you. Before I get out of here, I need you to do me one more favor. Do me one favor. I need you to go to www.gospelchoicemusic of it. Listen, that is my time for the day. Like I said, I appreciate you. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. My birthday is this Thursday, so I'm super excited about that. I'll be turning another year older, and I'm excited. So I don't, I got don't know what I'm gonna do for my birthday, but hey, man, I'm gonna do me. That's all that matters. All right. Look, do me a favor. Continue to watch. Continue to pray for your boy, and continue to support your boy. I got big things coming. I cannot release it yet, but when I do, oh boy, it's gonna be up from there. All right. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So I'll see you next week, same time, right here, 12 noon on Reactivate the Moment TV. And I'll see you then. Have a great week. I love you. Peace.